welcome back to the channel, and we're going to do the last little bit of January watches. I went up to the 17th, so pretty much almost halfway through the month, just over halfway through the month. I can count. So we're going from the 19th to the end of January with my watches. I will try not to waffle too much. God knows I'd struggle. So let's start off the old video recorder and shrink the old head. Okay, so we started on the 19th with The Rip. Now this is on Netflix at the moment. A lot of people are really unhappy that it didn't get a, there we go, it didn't get a cinema release. Now, count the money, count it again, count on no one. Trust phrase, I thought that was somebody's name. Trust phrase when a team of Miami cops discover millions in cash inside a rundown stash house, calling everyone and everything into question. So when I hear that a movie is about the police and it's about drugs or it's about gangsters or the mafia, I'm like, oh, and I just don't want to see it. I instantly lose any interest. I don't know why, it's just a thing. But I thought Matt Damon is in it and Ben Affleck's in it. Surely it can't be that bad. I like both actors. Let's give it a go. So on the strength of the cast, I gave it a go. And I did end up actually quite enjoying this one. It's shot really well. The acting's really good. It's everything that you would have expected. It is a bit twisty-turny. You're not 100% sure who the weak link is in this situation. I'll tell you what, if it were me. So they're called into this, very basic premise, they're called into this house. They expect to be lifting, I think, 100,000 in cash from this stash house. And there are millions in cash in this house. I'd be off. I'd be away. I'd be the dirty cop. I'd be like, right, I'm off. I'm away to Mexico. But no, some people are more honest than I am, quite clearly. But yeah, it was a good little movie. I thought as it approached the end, the big situation at the end was a little bit OTT, was a little bit stupid. But I did enjoy the movie overall. Acting was spot on. There's nothing I could look at in that movie and go, for fuck's sake, that's ridiculous. In this, I felt everything was like plausible, but just felt that there's a chase scene at the end of this. I just felt that was a little bit over the top, but maybe that's just me. I give it a 3 out of 5. I enjoyed the movie, but it scores a 3 purely because it's not my kind of genre, so that's like quite a personal score. I think most people would really enjoy this one. On the same evening, and I have to mention Cyns. Actually, can I just, before I start talking about this, recommend for the previous movie, The Rip, Scottish Geek Guy, I will try to remember to leave a link, does an interview with the editor of The Rip, and we get to see a section of his. Now, if you edit video, you will know all about the different timelines and stuff, the layers that you put in your videos. This guy's, he shows his actual timeline for the movie. Bloody hell, you've never seen anything like it. But the interview is so interesting. It's something he's doing at the minute. He's speaking to different crew that work on movies, rather than it always being about the stars and the directors. In this case, he's spoken to the editor. And it's just really interesting, so I would recommend that to you. So, this next movie, Oh Hi. I watch a channel who I would imagine you'll all be aware of, called Cyns Corner, CYNS Corner. And she hates this movie with such a passion. You really have to go and watch her review of this movie, because I love nothing more than when people hate films, because I find they make the best reviews ever. When people don't like something, it makes me laugh. It cheers me up no end. So, this movie. When you find the one, lock them down. Iris and Isaac's first weekend away as a couple is going so well until Isaac mentions he didn't know they were a couple. Convinced she's met her perfect guy and that he's just confused, Iris goes to increasingly ridiculous and irrational lengths to prove to Isaac they are meant to be together. So, they look like a very happy couple. They look like they're falling in love with each other. But once Isaac has managed to do the deed, he seems to like cool off a little bit. And he's like, what, we're a couple? I thought we were seeing other people. And she's like, no, we're exclusive. And she's not very happy. But Isaac has picked the wrong girl to do that too. So she handcuffs him to the bed. That may sound like a massive spoiler. Believe me, it isn't. This happens right early on in the situation, and the whole movie is him handcuffed to this bed, trying to convince her to let him out of the bed. Her friends arrive to help, all kinds of things happen. Now, I have heard most people say they really enjoyed this, apart from Sin, who absolutely hated it. Cin's reasoning for this is because she said, and she probably rightly so, it would have been much more horrific this way around, which is wrong, but if it had have been a man that handcuffed a woman to the bed in that situation, it would have had an entirely different feel. I think the fact this movie was trying to make it look funny that she had done this really abusive thing to this guy, it was like, well, why is it funny just because it's a guy? Which I completely get. It's completely irrational. You don't get the impression that you get with Misery of what Paul Sheldon's going through at the hands of Annie Wilkes. This is made look like young pretty girl is a little bit put out by this naughty boy, and she's handcuffing him to a bed and drugging him and stuff, and you don't get that sinister sort of feel that you should get for the situation because it's played for humour. It's played quite light-hearted, which I suppose either works for you or it doesn't. It didn't offend me to the degree that it did Sin, but I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't warm to either character. I found them both irritating, not very likeable. Just some of the decisions that are made seemed ridiculous. Would I massively recommend this movie? No. Let's have a look at what other people thought. Right, so we've got a 2. Who's that? Oh, they haven't rated it. Sin, there you go. There's Sin. She's given it a 0.5 out of 5. Thus, Florentina's given it a 4. So we've got a 4.5. Samuel Klinger. We've got a 4 from Joshua. Joshua tends to like quite highbrow movies. He enjoyed this. He tends to like quite intelligent movies that the rest of us are maybe scratching our head wondering what the fuck is going on. Sort of few average. The Upside Down, Movie Bug. Florentina, 4 out of 5. I gave it a 2 out of 5. I thought it was watchable. It wasn't so bad I had to turn it off. I wasn't mortally offended by it, but I could see an awful lot of Cin's points that she made. With what's happening on screen, you should be disturbed by it, but they're playing it for lighthearted, like for laughs. Like there's 2 movies. There's Misery, and there's what's the one where the woman is chained to the bed. The guy handcuffs her to the... Or no, are they both handcuffed to the bed? It's a horror and it's really flipping good. And I've forgotten, and she has to get out of the handcuffs and it's really gnarly. They're proper horrific. This is played as a light-hearted, oh, oops, you know, so this is why my videos are too long. I talk too much shite. Right, I am going to open it up. So Poltergeist 2. The reason I saw this is because when I go to see my dad on a Sunday, he always has movies on in the house. I adore the Poltergeist movies. I absolutely adore the second one. A lot of people say the first one's the only good one. I like all of them, but 1 and 2 obviously are a lot better than 3. This one has got Reverend Kane in it, and you have to be in awe of that character. He's the creepiest motherfucker, and yes, the actor was dying of cancer at the time, and that's really sad. And when I saw this, I was a child. I didn't understand any of that. But it's not just his appearance, it's everything about his portrayal of the Reverend Kane in this is terrifying. Now, him as a preacher, if you haven't seen it, God, go watch Poltergeist 2. He plays like a charismatic but creepy cult leader, and he very much reminded me of, what's the one? Oh, my brain never works when I want it to. The guy that makes all the people drink Kool-Aid and they all die. The way he spoke in that final really famous recording that exists of him telling everyone this is what they had to do to be saved. He reminds me of that kind of character in this. I don't know if that was inspiration for Reverend Kane, but proper creepy. Really, really fantastic performance. Obviously, Carol Ann again, amazing. I never realised how good the performances by the couple, the 2 leads in this are, the adults, and I've forgotten their name, but when you watch the Poltergeist movies, look at the performances of the mum and the dad. They are stellar, they are fantastic. I just always remembered loving this movie growing up. I love the first one. but I never paid much attention before to how good the acting is in this. Brilliant, absolutely love it, 4 out of 5. Kidnap, right, so this is a documentary on Netflix. As you know, true crime documentaries, I am there. The Lucy Letby one has been released today, so that will be my viewing tonight. So, Kidnapped Elizabeth Smart. This is a story about a young girl that was kidnapped from her bedroom. Her sister was in the same room. Her sister was younger than her, but said that she recognised the person that took her sister, but she couldn't remember where from. In this story, people's bound to know this. In this story, if you don't want to hear it, skip forward 30 seconds. Elizabeth comes back home. She's not murdered, she's not dead, she comes back home. And this tells the story of what happened during that time and about her family's search and about the eventual time when her sister remembers who it was that took her. It all falls into place when she's a bit older. Really good documentary, really interesting, different to the usual that you'll see in the conclusion. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, 3.5 out of 5. It's a story I've always known for years and I find really interesting, so yeah, I enjoyed that. So finally I saw The Running Man. Full disclosure, I haven't seen the Arnie version. I know, I'm a disgrace. So this is Glenn Powell. I really like Glenn Powell. I think he is very good in this. I find him believable. He is my second choice to play Arthur Morgan. If I've got hiccups now, don't give me hiccups. If they ever do a Red Dead, what's the word I'm looking for? Adaptation. If you don't know, Red Dead Redemption is the best computer game in the world ever. The second one is better than the first, but they're both brilliant. So there's a character called Arthur Morgan. I'm meant to be talking about The Running Man. My two Arthurs, who's the main character in the game, who is just brilliant. My first choice is Mads Mikkelsen, which I don't think would work because he needs to be American. If Mads can do a believable American accent, he is my Arthur. If he can't, Glenn Powell is my Arthur. I find him believable, I find him charming, he's handsome, he's maybe a little bit too pretty for Arthur, they need to rugged him up a little bit, but anyway, we're not talking about Arthur, I just had to say that. So this is a story about a game show where you can win an awful lot of money by running away. It's like that Channel 4 show, what's it called? I should think what things are called before I bloody start talking about it. Where celebrities have to like get away from a team chasing them. They have to not be found and there's like camera crews about filming them and stuff. Well, in this, Glenn Powell has to record a video every day, send it into the show. He has to keep running. He has to avoid these people that are out to kill him. So if this TV crew find him, he's dead. Every time there are 3 competitors and one person has managed to make it the distance before. And basically his family are badly in need of the money for a particular reason. He decides to enter this competition and the movie is following him and his progression in the competition. Okay, so I haven't seen the original, so I can't make comparisons. With this one, I will say I was really enjoying it until the last 20 minutes. Until the point he gets on the plane at the end. What happened at the end of it was just like ridiculous. It was like, oh, come on now. You've ruined it. You know when you watch a movie and the end can elevate, but the end can also ruin it for you? The end of this ruined it for me. I was enjoying it up until the end and the decisions they made. I can't tell you if that's what happened in the original. I have no idea. But I just thought the ending was ridiculous. I was fully invested in enjoying this, but the Ben Richards character became almost inept as the story went on. Yes, I've forgotten about that. The amount of this guy is meant to have got as far as he's got, he should be fucking amazing. But the amount of mistakes he makes, it's like, how are you still alive, mate? It's a miracle he gets as far as he does. The nail in the coffin for me was the terrible ending. It should have definitely stuck to the book. I must have Googled it to find out if it ended like the book, and I found out it didn't. In memory now, I don't even remember what the ending of the book was. That's how bad my memory is. But it's definitely watchable. The Dust Bunny. Well made and looks great. Some people will probably love this, but it's a bit too odd and surreal for my taste. So there he is. There's my Arthur, Mads Mikkelsen. So, my tummy is rumbling. I apologise. Is there any more noises my body can make today? Hopefully not. 10-year-old Aurora asks her hitman neighbour to kill the monster under her bed that she claims ate her family too. To protect her, he must battle an onslaught of assassins while accepting that some monsters are real. I couldn't quite understand in this what the hell was going on and why. It's very surreal. I don't do well with surreal. I like... Somebody's getting their heating delivered. I like a normal, cohesive story. I don't do well with not understanding what's happening. This film looks beautiful. The effects in this film are really good. Mads is wonderful as always. The child actress is brilliant in this too. It just looks gorgeous. The setting, everything looks gorgeous, but there's so many questions. Why is nobody else in this building wondering what all the kerfuffle and noise is? What is Mads Mikkelsen doing at the beginning of it? Why do we see things like... Is the child seeing things, or is this stuff happening? Is it her imagination? Is it real? I had so many questions that never were answered that I came away from this thinking, well, that was really pretty, but I got nothing from it. So check it out if you really like Mads Mikkelsen and you don't mind surreal movies. I love Mads Mikkelsen and I didn't love this. Full disclosure, from the people I'm aware of, Aaron from Screen Stars and Sin both saw this from Sin's Corner and they both really enjoyed it from my memory. There we go. So I've only got a few people that have rated a 2.5, same as me. Upside Down 3.5, Emma 3.5, Joshua 2.5, and Andy 3. Sin hasn't put a rating there, but I know she's seen it. And I remember her review being positive, and Aaron from Screen Stars. So it may just be me in that case. It's not a bad movie, it's just not to my taste. Oh, talking about bad movies, Return to Silent Hill. Okay. You'll say, why have you given it a 2, Lisa? Because the visuals I really enjoyed and the lighting I really enjoyed and the sound design. There was nothing technically wrong with this movie. So, full disclosure, I absolutely adore the first Silent Hill movie adaptation. I'm a big fan of the games, haven't played them, haven't played the remake, I've played the original games. I thought the first movie, the one with Sean Bean, was actually brilliant. I thought they properly captured the feel of the games, the eeriness, the weird ass creatures, the sort of like the fog, the siren. It was just all brilliant. I thought it was done very well, and the portrayal of Pyramid Head, fucking amazing, brilliant. Which is where they go wrong in this. That's one of the small places they go wrong. So this is a standalone movie. We start this movie, like my husband said, it's like a really shit 80s music rock video. It is, at the beginning and the end. So this guy, or character with a really bad wig, meets this girl, they fall in love, and they go back to Silent Hill for reasons best known to themselves. And then weird shit starts to happen. I'm not going to go into storyline because there's no point. So, what's wrong with this movie? So let's talk about what they do right first. The visuals to me were really good. I loved the falling ash that I thought they got really good. A lot of people have said that they thought the effects in this, the CGI, were awful. I didn't feel that way. There's some scenes in it that you look at and say, that's actually beautiful. That's really nice to look at. The performances were a bit subpar. The acting wasn't the best. The wig was shocking, and then if you didn't think that was bad enough, we get a fake beard later on, and that's even worse than the wig. The storyline that you're following doesn't echo the actual game. It's been changed, and you need to be an imbecile not to work out what... They spell everything out for you with regards to the female characters in this, and it's like, oh, for Christ, can you not just let people... Example, there's an advert on TV at the minute. I'm deviating again, but this is what I mean. And it's people doing DIY or jobs around the house. There's a man that's painted a fence. There's a woman that's laid a, like, clicking one of them floors that you click into place. Someone's painted a room. And at the end of doing whatever it is, they stand back and they look at it really proud, and a big peacock tail comes up behind them. And it's an advert for like a DIY store. And I'm like, I quite like that. I like that advert. And then at the end it says, be as proud as a peacock. And it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Why did you have to say it? It's obvious. You've inferred it. You can see it. People will go, oh, as proud as a peacock. That's good. But no, they had to tell you. This is what this movie does. It has to tell you stuff that's blatantly obvious to a blind man. So, acting's bad. Beard and hair is bad. I liked most of the visuals. There are sections where the visuals are jumpy, and they do look like what way can you put this? What do you call it? The cut screen from a game. But I almost felt that was done on purpose. I feel like it was a decision made to make it look like a cut screen from the game. But other people are saying that the CGI is so shit. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was supposed to look real. I felt that it sort of added those sections in to tie the game to it to make it look a bit, it worked for me. I was happy with that. I can't criticize the visuals. I was, in the grand scheme of things, when put alongside some of the visuals we have nowadays, no, obviously it wasn't as good as, but would that have been enough to make me dislike the movie? Absolutely not. The terrible acting and the shit storyline did that in itself. The storyline is not cohesive. It makes no sense. It's changed from the game, and you just find yourself thinking, what is happening? What's going on? Why have you not addressed this? What's that? It's silly. It's just silly. So I gave that a 2 out of 5. There you get other... Jesus, who was that enjoyed it? I don't know who that is. So you can see there, 0.5. 2 is like the most generous one. There's a 2.5. I gave it a 2, and I think I've even written it. Visuals, lighting, effects, and sound design. I felt they were... Oh, let me say, Pyramid Head in this is awful. And something that they do with regards to Pyramid Head, what are you thinking? And Pyramid Head in this looked almost normal sized, but he's massive. He's absolutely giant. If you watch the first movie, the sheer scale and brutality of Pyramid Head is terrifying. In the first, he lifts a woman up and degloves her entire body. He just rips her skin off and chucks the mess beside him, and it's like, oh my god. You're not going to see anything like that in this. It's very tame. Okay. How long have we... Wow, we're going to be half an hour again, aren't we? Right, Return to Silent Hill. Firefighters. This, I believe, was Korean. This is a true story, which is why I watched it. Come on, Lisa, scroll down. Courage to save. Even in the harshest environments, firefighters must focus on extinguishing fires and rescuing everyone there. At 3:47 a.m. on March the 4th, 2001, the 119 emergency call centre receives a phone call about a fire that has broken out in the if I had knew this was in it, Hongdong, is it? That sounds a bit rude. Hongdong neighbourhood. Firefighters, including newcomer Cho Wong, rushed to the scene. Never let it be said my pronunciation is anything worth talking about. Right, I love a true story. I especially love anything to do with the emergency services. I'm a sucker for all that sort of thing. This is a very average movie, but the characters are really likeable. The acting's fine. Everything that's done here is okay. There are some scenes of the fire which are a bit poor, but it's forgivable. This film mainly wants to show you certain issues that they have there with regards to equipment. They need better equipment than they have, and a massive problem with cars parking in illegal places and not being ticketed or not being moved on. So much so that it gets in the way of fire engines getting to locations. They're blocking off fire hydrants. They're costing lives. So I think this movie, a lot of it was to actually shed light on the issues that firefighters are actually encountering trying to do their job. And it is quite eye-opening. It's a decent little watch. I gave it 2.5. I didn't think it was great. It was interesting. It opened my eyes to something I wasn't aware of. And the characters were likeable, but it wasn't the strongest of movies. So 2.5. Hamnet. Okay. Finally, I see this movie. 3.5. Okay. I have given this movie 3.5 because I realise it's incredibly well acted. It looks amazing. It is an Oscar-worthy movie. I didn't love it. I'm giving it a 3.5 because I realise that's just me. So this follows the story of William Shakespeare and his wife and the loss of their son Hamnet. Obviously then Hamlet goes on to be named after him. There is a scene in this movie of when his wife goes to where he works to confront him about something, and she sees one of the plays in action that he has written, and That scene is amazing. It's really, really heartfelt. There are scenes in this that's like you can't help but revel at how good Jessie Buckley is. And it's like, Jesus, you know, this is, and I'm a mother, you know, the thought of losing my son to me is the most terrifying thought in the world above any other, the thought of anything. And any parent will tell you the same thing. The thought of losing your child, oh my God, it's nightmare fuel. So while I really appreciate the acting performances, how it looks, and you're saying, well, you like all of that stuff, why didn't you like the movie? I don't know. I don't like Shakespeare plays. I find them so boring. It makes me want to sleep. I think kids in school, I had to do Henry IV in school, Shakespeare. My son did The Merchant of Venice. It's like, let them read Dickens. Why are we still doing Shakespeare? Yes, it is a really good movie, don't get me wrong. It just isn't the sort of thing I want to sit down to entertain myself. I recognise the performances are brilliant, but you're basing it around someone that is idolised for their genius, and I think wasn't that good to me. Lisa says Shakespeare's shit. He's not shit, but he's not for me. I just don't get it. I do not get it. I don't get the hero worship for Shakespeare. Maybe that interfered with it. I don't know. No other choice. This is another one I've been waiting ages on. Now, this director, Park Chan-wook, has done some movies I adore, but has done a couple that other people loved and I didn't. So no other choice. Would you kill for a job? After being laid off and humiliated by a ruthless job market, I'm getting a sore throat, a veteran paper mill manager descends into violence in a desperate bid to reclaim his dignity. So this follows, as it says, a man that has lost his job. He's a very proud man. He doesn't want to tell his family what's going on. He needs to be able to provide. All of this stuff's happening that's awful for him. It's a loss of faith, a loss of pride. They're losing their home that they've been living in, that he has lived in for decades. And he becomes quite desperate. And he feels that if he can eliminate all the competition for the jobs that he is the only one left, qualified and experienced to do, then they've no choice but to give him the job. So he sets about bringing an end to all these different people. It's definitely an entertaining movie. I much preferred it to his last one. Is it, to me, absolutely fantastic, amazing, out of this world? No. I did enjoy it. Again, just like Hamnet, I think both are incredible movies. Neither of them are exactly to my taste. If I watch something that just blows me away, I'm going to give it at least a 4, 4.5, maybe even a 5. I did enjoy it. I can't tell you there's anything wrong with it, because there isn't. The acting's solid, cinematography's solid. Some of the way it's shot, the scenes are absolutely a joy to look at, are beautiful. And it's an interesting storyline also. I like all the characters. I feel the characters are all very different. They all bring something different to the table. So yeah, I definitely recommend this, and I definitely recommend Hamnet. I'm just scoring from my personal, because why would you score what other people would score? Obviously, I'm going to say what's personal to me. Tetris. You're going to, what you're going to say? You're giving them 3.5 and you're giving Tetris 4? Yes, I am. So, this is the true story, and I was completely staggered by what happened. I knew nothing of this. So, in 1988, American video game salesman Hank Rogers discovers the video game Tetris. When he sets out to bring the game to the world, he enters a dangerous web of lies and corruption behind the Iron Curtain. I was so shocked about the background of Tetris when I watched this. I had no idea. This is shown on Apple TV at the moment. And this guy, he's a really nice guy. He's married. He has got kids. He's struggling financially. Tetris has been discovered. It was invented by a Russian, and just the whole way things work in Russia is just ridiculous. It's scandalous. And they see any form of money making as, well, it is material. What do they call it? They're communist. Socialism or anything like that is forbidden. You're not supposed to make money from anything. You're told what to do, when to do it. They take your money off you. But this brave bastard travels into Russia with no appointment, on a vacation visa, which is illegal in itself, to try and get a deal for this terrace. And so much happens. There's so much going on. Robert Maxwell and his son, is he called Kevin, is in this as well. Like media tycoon Robert Maxwell that died on his boat. Somebody offed him, that's what happened. This has got so much happening. It's like, oh my God. And like everything new thing, you're like, Jesus Christ. And you actually end up really, really caring about this character and wanting him to succeed. And you know that it's a true story. So you're like, well, the writer can't have written it to tie it with a little bow for us all to be happy. What actually happened? And I was so invested in what was actually going to happen. I love this. So yes, it's a 4 out of 5 for me for Tetris. It was right up my street. Really, really enjoyed it. The Beauty Queen and the Catfish, right? This is a documentary that is on BBC iPlayer at the moment. Women work together to reveal the true identity of their catfish. However, as more victims and evidence come to light, the women are forced to take matters into their own hands. As I say, I love a documentary, true crime sort of thing. And this follows a person that pretends to be an attractive young doctor. Now, any woman will tell you, and this probably happens to men too. I think with men, they tend to get loads of messages from like porn bots. Women tend to get lots of messages from attractive young doctors, people fighting in the army in their uniform, all of this crack, and to make out they're interested in it. It's like, just go away. You know, you're talking out your bum. So this really attractive young doctor gets into a back and forth with loads of different women, and he is not who he seems to be. But there's so much more to the story than that. And it interviews all these different women, and they all tell you their individual story of how they met him and what happened and how it unfolded, and it all comes to a conclusion in the end. 3 parts. Each part is somewhere between 45 minutes and an hour. Really, really interesting, really good. That is on. It's called The Beauty Queen because one of the girls is, she was like Beauty Queen for her region or something. They're all attractive women that he's got with. Fingernails. Yes, this is on Apple at the moment. Can you tell who's got an Apple trial, a free 30-day Apple trial at the minute? So this has got Jessie Buckley in it. I really like Jessie Buckley. Riz Ahmed's in it. I really like him. And Jeremy Allen White's in it. I would look at that man sat still doing nothing for 2 hours. So, love is a test. Results may vary. Anna and Ryan have found true love together. It's been proven by a controversial test. They're just one problem. Anna isn't sure. Then she meets Amir. So Anna's Jessie Buckley. Ryan is Jeremy Allen White. Yes. And they're a very happy couple. There is this test that some couples take, which you have to pull your fingernail out and put them in a little petri dish and put them in this machine, and they tell you the percentage chance that you are meant to be together. And they have a positive result, they're meant to be together. A lot of couples will do the test more than once because things may have changed. He doesn't believe in it, he thinks it's all just rubbish. She very much is for it, and then she ends up working for this company that do these tests. She works alongside Riz Ahmed, Amir, and she begins to click with Amir. She begins to feel there's something there that's maybe not quite there with her and her partner. Now, Jeremy Allen White's character, what's he called? Ryan. He is such a nice guy. He's beautiful, for God's sake. If you're that in the house and he's a nice guy, I mean, what the hell are you thinking, love? Maybe the heart wants what the heart wants. I don't know. But this is just basically a love story. It's a love story. It's a woman that... It's almost like that one where your woman goes to Spain, Shirley Valentine. It's almost like she discovers herself and she realises that she's settling for something that isn't what she wants. And what she wants is Amir. But how's she going to find out, do this test to find out are they compatible, because she believes in all this stuff. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It was interesting. I gave it a 2.5 because the ending ruined it for me. Apparently the ending is meant to be, what's that word when you can't really work out what's happening? They leave it like that on purpose. I can't think of what the word is. If I wasn't doing this, I would have the word on the tip of my tongue. But you're meant to sort of draw your own conclusions from the end. I couldn't get over the fact that she didn't want to be with her boyfriend. It's like, in what world? Yeah, okay, things maybe aren't like they were right at the start. They're maybe not exciting and fresh and you maybe are knackered sometimes and things maybe are a bit dull at times, but you throwing that out of bed? Come on now. Girl, what are you thinking? So let me tell you what other people thought. There you go. Spooky Astronauts gives it a 4. Upside Down gives it a 3.5. Bethany a 4. Joshua a 3. And Ben a 2.5. The rest haven't rated it. It's a decent little movie. It is mainly a love story. If you like the actors, definitely check it out. But maybe I just couldn't get over that she just picked him up. Don't get me wrong, Riz Ahmed's a very attractive man, but fuck, Jeremy Allen White, I mean, ooh, dear me. Right. Is this... Right, that's the last one. We'll not go into February. So the last one is The Amateur. I missed this at the cinema. What's your man's name? I've forgotten. Rami Malek. So, Rami Malek, who did an absolutely fantastic job, in my opinion, of playing my hero, Freddie Mercury, in Bohemian Rhapsody. He got so many mannerisms down. It was, you know, I've really liked him since that point. He did the... What's that game? Detroit Become Human? No, he didn't. That was the guy out of Grey's Anatomy. Oh, Jesus Christ, Lisa. He did the Until Dawn ones, didn't he? He was the computer. There's another one he did that he was the main character in, and I've forgotten what it is. And he did iRobot. I think he's a really good actor, and I think I've said before, I think his Holland Opus is yet to come. I think he's got a real ability and a real talent that we haven't quite seen yet. Not to say what he's done is not fantastic, it is, but I feel this guy is going on to big things. So, don't underestimate him. After his life is turned upside down when his wife is killed in a London terrorist attack, a brilliant but introverted CIA decoder takes matters into his own hands when his supervisors refuse to take action. So that's pretty much the story. He is a very, very intelligent, bright gentleman when it comes to espionage, when it comes to computers, when it comes to all the technology. He knows where he's at. When it comes to stuff like the physical stuff, like weapons and hand-to-hand combat, not so much. But they agree to actually... he discovers something that the CIA don't want becoming common knowledge. And he tells them that he has set up a... Is it a kill switch? He tells them basically, if I don't check in every so often, this information is going public to all the big publications in the media. So they have to honour his wishes. They think he's going to get killed in the process. They agree to train him to go after the people that killed his wife. And that is what this movie is about. He receives his training from Lawrence Fishburne. And he sets about tracking these people down to kill them. It was a thoroughly entertaining watch. I really enjoyed it. Wouldn't be the top of the list on my sort of genre of things that I would tend to watch, but I do like Rami Malek. So yeah, I would definitely recommend The Amateur. I don't think it's the best thing you're ever going to have seen, but it's definitely a satisfying little watch. You will at times go, oh, for fuck's sake, at some of the things that happens. The most for me is when he's got one of the bad people in a big glass case. I won't tell you what's happening, but they're in a big glass case and they pretend they can't breathe and he lets them out. It's like, oh, for Christ's sake, why have you let them out? Things like that. You know, he's too soft. You know, you need to be harsher, Rami. But yeah, 3 out of 5 for that one. Let me stop my old recording. Yeah, so that is what I watched in the second half of what month are we in? Of January. We're now on the 4th of February. So I will try and come back and do, you know, reviews as often as I get the chance. My son is in the middle of GCSEs at the moment, so there's Darren walking about now. So it is a bit, you know, busy. I have a lot of admin stuff to do. I have a little job thing that I've got going on at the minute. So yeah, it's busy. I haven't watched videos in ages, so apologies folks. I will try and get back to getting your videos checked out. But it's been a busy few weeks. Thank you for watching, folks. I shall be back at some stage with something or other. Who knows when and what. But over and out from Lisa Lives.